So Paula, today we're going to do a little quick question and answer.
Okay,
Teresa. We get a
Teresa.
lot of people that send in questions to us.
I know.
This one I don't know that you're going to know a
Uh-huh.
specific brand, but I think hearing your take on this topic will be interesting.
Okay.
So Robin asked, which brand of apple pie filling is the best? Do you like pie fillings, or I mean, what are your recommendations on those?
You know, y'all, I have used pie fillings on occasion, but don't miss the opportunity to use fresh.
And how do you make fresh? Isn't that hard to do? I think a lot of
No,
people think
it's
it's really
not,
hard.
it's not hard. Like in apple season, you'll want to wash and peel your apples and slice them, removing all the core, and cover them with sugar. It really depends. You know, I don't have a specific amount, but you just sugar your apples along with a little water, so you're basically fixing them in a simple syrup.
Right. Now, do you bake them? I mean, do you?
No, you cook them on top of the stove until your apples are tender, and your simple syrup is kind of thickened.
Right.
You know.
So it would be kind of like the consistency of a
That's-
can, but it would be fresh.
Yes, it would be fresh, and like that's how I prepare my apples for fried apple pies. And you know, if you need to thicken them, you'd mix a little cornstarch with your water, and while they're boiling good, you just add your slurry and just make sure it's thick enough, because you'll want it to kind of stay on the spoon, especially if you're doing the small fried pies like I do that are so good. So, yeah, but like for cherries, I would use pie filling.
Yeah. Peaches, no.
Blueberries, I like to do fresh blueberries, and you do it the same way. You know, you sugar your fruit and then you cook it in the simple syrup. Let's see, peaches. I like to do those the same way. Pears. You know what?
I don't even think there is a canned pear, so if you were doing pears, you have to do it yourself.
Pear fried pies is like my favorite pie of all times. I love pear cobbler and pear fried pies. It's just like no other to me.
I've never had pear cobbler. That's a good.
Oh my gosh, it's so good. And of course, I just use the canned pears for the cobbler. But it's just really easy. It's really easy.
What I think that's the big deal is, I think people think it's difficult to make
And
the
it's
filling,
not.
and it's not.
It's not. It's
Okay,
not.
so our next one is from Glenda, who must think that you look really, really young.
Hey, Glenda.
Because she says,
Why?
what type of face makeup do you use? Whatever she has.
Whatever I have, whatever Bubbles buys herself that's too dark, she'll give it to me. And right now I'm using Bubbles base. But what's the name of my stuff that I like?
Is it Tarte?
No, it's can you hold on 1 second? Okay, the makeup base that I use most of the time is Derma Blend. But then Sissy Bubbles always buys things in twos. One for their mountain home, one for their lake home, and then one for the home that they live in. So she bought 2 of these, and they were too dark for her. And it's Lancome.
Nice.
So,
So again, it's
and
basically.
you can find some good ones at the drugstore.
Yeah.
You know,
It's finding the color that's really the most important.
it really is. That is the deal, to find the right shade for your face.
What colors does Bubbles buy you?
Well,
she
she
buys herself
always
too dark.
tends. Yeah, she always tends to go too dark for herself. So she just passes that on to me because I do a little darker makeup darker than
mix.
what I am.
And you mix makeups too.
Yes, I'll mix them. I'll mix them and plaster it on, honey.
That's the other part, plastering. Okay, so Tina, this is
To
really-
me,
Oh,
going back to that though, real quick, like the important thing is when you get a certain age, you're gonna want to find you a full coverage, not a transparent face makeup, but one that will cover, you know, the little veins and.
my mom
you know,
made me start wearing moisturizer at like 16. That was one of
Yes.
the she gave it to me as a Christmas gift, and she said, "This
Uh-huh.
is the best thing I'll ever give you."
Absolutely.
I don't know that I used it like I should, but
Yes. You know, you can't start taking care of your skin too soon. You can't do it. I did not take care of mine. And I really don't do anything special today. You know, I try to keep it clean and use my moisturizer. But I thought, hell, Paula, you done waited too late to worry about it. You know,
so
usually.
Tina,
Mm-hmm.
Tina wants to know, this is a
Hey,
good-
Tina.
These are good questions this go around. How do you organize your recipes?
I throw them in a great big sack. No, Tina. I have more cookbooks than the law allows. When I started doing my show for television years ago, people would send me their church cookbook or the garden club cookbook. So I have tons of cookbooks. So many that I had to put them on a book rack and keep them in the attic. But all my handwrittens, I keep in my drawer in my kitchen. And the file is getting thicker.
Yes, it is. Okay, Betty asked, how'd you get the name Guinea? I think we've answered this, but well.
Betty wants to know how I got the name Guinea.
Mhm.
Well, Jamie was trying to teach Jack, my very first grandchild, to call me Granny. Because Jamie wanted me to be called something that would maybe rub me the wrong way. He first told me, he said, Jack's gonna call you Big Mama. I said, well, if you do that, son, I'm scratching you off of the inheritance list. But so he said, no, I'm gonna teach him to call you Granny. And I said, that's fine. I don't care what he calls me as long as he calls me. So when Jack got old enough to mimic and talk, Brooke called me one day and she said, well, guess what Jack is calling you? And I said, what? She said, he can't say Granny and it's coming out Guinea. And I said, Brooke, that's absolutely perfect because I am his guinea pig and will forever be his guinea pig. So Deen is the one that named me.
Okay, so Terry asked, what is your favorite holiday?
My favorite holiday, hands down, is Thanksgiving. And that's because Thanksgiving is truly about all the F's, all the F words that you like. Food, fun, friends, family. Thanksgiving is all about those things. You don't have to worry about running out and buying somebody a gift that they probably don't want or need to start with. You know, this day and age, everybody has everything they need and most everything that they want. So you get that fulfillment from your family and your friends at Thanksgiving without the chores of trying to go shop for something that you don't even know if they'll use it. So hands down, it's Thanksgiving.
Okay, so your sessions where you've gone to the house and shown updates on the house have
Mhm.
really been big with our viewers. And we get this from many people, and they're asking, when do they get to see the next update on the house?
I think like real soon, don't you, Eddie? when are we gonna do?
Well,
I want to
we've
do
got
it.
a jigsaw puzzle to put together
Yes,
first.
a jigsaw puzzle, Eddie said. But you know, I would like to do a tour while it's empty, and then do it. You know, take our time and do each kitchen, each room,
That would be
especially
fun.
the kitchen because there's more stuff in a kitchen. So I want to do that very soon because I think, when did you say we start moving the big furniture in, Eddie?
Probably Tuesday.
Probably Tuesday.
So next Monday,
This
you're
is
gonna be
Wednesday.
filming.
I want to do it, yeah. I want to
Sometime
do it
this
before we
weekend. So
start
it's gonna be
moving
pretty
stuff.
soon.
It's going to be very soon, y'all. And it looks a lot different from the last tour I took y'all on.
Awesome. Well, that concludes our questions for today.
Okay. The only thing that could make this better is if I could see y'all's face and hear your voice. But I love any opportunity I get to converse with y'all out there. So I'll see you on the house tour very, very soon. Hey y'all, it's Paula Deen. Now, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like it and click the subscribe button as well as the notification bell to be alerted when I post a video. Love and best dishes, y'all.